بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
One humble request before we start. Al Quran Institute is a Quranic Dawah and educational institute. We would like to reach many others like you, so your assistance will be greatly appreciated. If you benefit from our videos, please like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel. Jazakallahu khairan. Alhamdulillah. In lesson 9, we have discussed about irregular verb or al-af'alu ghayru sahih. And in that chapter, we looked at various types of irregular verb. They're broadly divided into three categories. One is called mahmuz, the other one is called mu'tal, and the third one is called muda'af. Mu'tal has also got four types in it. They are called misal, ajwaf, Naqis, Lafif. To remember this order, we use four letters, Manal, M-A-N-L. M for Misal, A for Azwaf, N for Naqis, L for Lafif. And we also looked at some examples of all these Ghayru Sahih verbs. In this chapter of part 2, irregular verb, we shall primarily study Fi'l Mahmuz in details. After that, we shall discuss four types of mu'talun, misal, ajwaf, naqis, lafif, and muda'af in details, including the transformation of the changes that occurs from original root madi verb to mudari verb to amor and other forms. However, it's very important to remember that there are some rules for this transformation or change in every Ghayru Sahih verb. For example, Mahmuz will have some of its own rules, Misal will have its own rule, similarly Ajwaf, Naqis, Lafif and Mudafun. For the benefit of the revision for students, we have included all these different types of verb in this chapter at the beginning. However, we are not going to discuss it. You may want to have another look just to make sure that you are fully familiar with Salim, which is Sahih verb, then Ghayru Sahih verb and its all different varieties, and how you recognize them individually. For now, we will go into one of the very important terminology called tabdil, which is heavily involved in this Ghayru Sahih verb transformation from one form to another. So let us just explain what tabdil is. The term tabdil in Arabic comes from the root ba, dal, lam, which indicates the act of changing or replacing. Tabdil came from the root baddala. Baddala is the past tense in form 2. Baddala yubaddilu, the present tense. And tabdil, the verbal noun or masdar for changing or altering. In Arabic grammar, tabdil refers to the morphological alteration of verbs to enhance pronunciation. This is often necessary for irregular verbs known as al-af'alul mu'tal, which contain a weak letter such as waw, ya, or alif, one of them in their root. These weak letters may undergo tabdil process to preserve the linguistic rhythm and ease of pronunciation. For example, the verb qala, which has a weak letter waw as its middle root letter, because yaqulu in the present tense retaining the waw, but in a different pattern for smoother articulation. The verb wa'ada changes to ya'idu in the present tense, replacing waw with a ya for more fluid speech. Tabdil is a key feature in Arabic verb conjugation, ensuring smooth pronunciation, shortening the verb, especially for verbs with weak or irregular roots, reflecting the language's adaptability and richness. Alhamdulillah. Okay, we are now going to look at the rules for mahmuz verbs. Rule number 1. Change in only mahmuz fa kalima. In a minute you will see that the tabdil process, the transformation process, the changes may happen on the fa or first kalima, or ain, second kalima, or lam, the third kalima of the verbs. But in mahmuz verbs, no tabdil effect take place on ain kalima or lam kalima. In summary, in mahmuz verbs, changes will only occur on fa kalima, the first letter, and there will not be any change on lam or ain kalima in mahmuz verb. Rule number 2, in case of masdar or mudario form 4, if hamza has sukun and its preceding letter has hamza, then the hamza with sukun must be changed according to the haraka of its preceding letter. For example, alif for fatha, ya for kasra, or waw for dhamma. Let's look at an example. Amana, he believed. Amana. There are two hamza long sound. The second hamza has got a sukun on it. Amana. You can see on the screen. So in this case, according to the rule, hamza with sukun will change to hamza with fatha following the preceding letter, the letter coming before it, which is currently carrying fatha. So hamza with sukun will also be hamza with fatha. So what have we got now? We have got alif twice with longer sound, amana. In case of masdar, following rule number 2, let's see what happens. So from amana, you get mudario yu'minu, amor amin, and then masdar is imanan. Now let's look at the original form of masdar. It has got two hamza. Original root has got two hamza. Hamza with sukun preceded by hamza with kasra. According to the rule number 2, if there is a hamza with sukun and the preceding letter is also hamza with a haraka, then hamza with sukun will change as follows. If the preceding letter has fatha, then hamza with sukun will change to alif. If the preceding letter has dhamma, then the hamza with sukun will change to waw. And if the preceding letter is kasra, then hamza with sukun will change to ya. So following this rule, imanan has been changed to hamza with kasra at the beginning, then hamza with sukun has taken ya to make it longer sound, imanan. So I hope you understood the process, and this process of transformation, of changing from the original root to a form which is shorter, which is easier to pronunciate, and which makes it simpler. This process in Arabic is called tabdil, and we shall be using it repeatedly for the next few chapters about ghayru sahih verb. Rule number 3, exception in amor formation for mahmuz verb. In Arabic it's called khilaful qiyas, contrary to regular rule. Examples: amara ya'muru ta'muru mur. Ya'muru ta'muru. As an exception, according to normal rule, alamote mudari is supposed to drop, but as an exceptional rule, hamza after the alamote mudariyo will also be dropped. So ta'muru has become mur, and the lam kalima will be sukun as usual. So ta'muru has become mur. Akala yakulu ta'kulu kul. Ta'alamote mudari dropped, and then hamza also got dropped, and lam kalima will always have sukun in amr. So ta'kulu has become kul. Akhaza yakhuzu ta'khuzu khuz. Mashallah. If you understood the rule, the tabdil process, the rest will be nice and easy and fun, inshallah. Rule number 4 with mudariyo verb. Here is also some exception. Words with 3 letters such as root ra, hamza, ya, the original verb comes out as ra'aya. From madi ra'aya, the mudariyo in original format is ayu, following bab fataha. This rule is necessary for words used from this root letter ra, hamza, ya. Please note, with ya ending, hamzated verb will follow nakis rule. We'll discuss this in the next page. So let's look at what exception happens in rule number 4 with mudariyo. Ra'a, ayu, bab fataha. From ayu, the change is ra, then tara, then amr is ra. Another example, from the root hamza, ra, and ya, the madi original is araya. After breaking down, araya, which is form 4 verb, Babe ifal. So ar'ayya has become you. Then after tabdil, simplification, shortening, and easier to pronunciate, it is changed to yuri. Mudariyu yuri has changed to amr ari. Note here Hamza has come back in the tabdil version of Mudariyu to make it amr ari. Rule number 5, change of Mudariyu. If the Hamza is in the middle of a Mudariyu verb and has sukun in its preceding letter, then harakat of the Hamza can be transferred to its preceding letter, omitting the Hamza. Alternatively, this could be kept as it is. Both are correct and acceptable. We shall look at both examples here. First, Hamza is kept. Sa'ala yas'alu. Yas'alu tas'alu. Doing amr now. Alamute mudari ta has dropped. So we got sin with sukun, Hamza with fatha and lam sukun. Then Hamzatul wasl added with kasra. So amr now is is'al. See what happens when Hamza is omitted, which is also accepted in tabdil process. So sa'ala yas'alu. Now Hamza is dropped. So it has become yasalu. So yasalu, tasalu, then ta alamute mudari dropped. So you have got now sal as amr. We are going to look at something very important and very special. This is part of our verb form 4 when we studied this earlier. You may have noticed that from form 1 to form 10 verbs, Sulasi Mujarrad and Sulasi Mazid, there is only one verb which starts with Hamza, and that is form 4. Af'ala pattern. Example, Aslama. The A in the beginning is a Hamza. Please remember, no other verb in that list from form 1 to 10 has got Hamza at the beginning. So according to the rule of Mudariyu formation from Madi, we add Iya at the beginning. And in case of form 2, 3, 4, we add U in the Mudariyu formation. So Amana, as we know there are 2 Hamza here. When we do Mudariyu of that, it should be Amana Iu Aminu. Like Akrama should be Iu Akrimu. Please follow what I'm saying. Fa'ala, you are making it yaf'alu. So if we apply the same rule with the 4-letter verb, it should be amana to yu'amanu. But it doesn't work. So the Arabic grammarian experts, long time ago, has done a modification. That's called tabdil process, transformation, change. And this is what we will discuss here now. First of all, let's see what happens if the Mudariyu formation rule is followed. What happens? Akrama will become Iu Akrimu. Akrama, Iu added before that, Iu Akrimu. Dual and plural would be Iu Akrimane, Iu Akrimuna. Let's continue. Tuakrimu, Tuakrimane, Iu Akrimna. Tuakrimu, Tuakrimane, Tuakrimuna. Tuakrimina, Tuakrimane, Tuakrimna, Uakrimu, Nuakrimu. And you have noticed how complex, how long, and how difficult to pronunciate. So the grammarians have applied tabdil process and simplified it. Only in this instance when a 4-letter verb with Hamza, this is the rule. So it will read, so the change form it will be Akrama yukrimu yukrimane yukrimuna. Tukrimu tukrimane yukrimna. Tukrimu tukrimane tukrimuna. Tukrimina tukrimane tukrimna. Ukrimu nukrimu. As opposed to how complex it was in the previous version. So remember this exception in form 4 that it started with Hamza, and from Mudariyu onwards throughout the chain Hamza has been dropped. So Iuakrimu has become Yukrimu, and you can see at the end Uakrimu Nuakrimu has become Ukrimu Nukrimu. Alhamdulillah. One request before you go. Al Quran Institute is a Quranic Dawah and educational institute. We would like to reach others like you. So if you benefited from this video, please share with others, and most importantly, please subscribe our channel and like the videos. Don't forget to watch other video series on Quranic Arabic course. Barakallahu fikum. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم آمين يا رب العالمين.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.